So we were helping Ryan and Anna move. I don't remember from which house to which house, but while we were helping them move, somehow we found this Michigan jacket, and so someone's idea was that we take it and hide it from him, and Josh Dixon and I got together and came up with this idea of, destroying it, but we didn't want to permanently destroy this object of his, so we found the exact same jacket online and bought another one so that we could give it to him after we showed him the video, which he had absolutely no idea we took his jacket, that we did any of this stuff with it. So
they stole his Michigan jacket.
They did steal the Michigan jacket.
And they made a video burning it.
Yes.
And presented the ashes to him as a gift. I think as your kids move into teen years, it's very natural for them to develop friendships and to really kind of move away from you being their primary relationship and their primary source of direction or instruction. And as they do that, they're going to be influenced by who's around them, no matter who they are, even the best of kids. They're going to be influenced by the kids around them, and you definitely want to have a hand in that and helping them choose people to surround themselves with so that they can make good decisions.
And they were always right there listening to how I was feeling and helping me work through it. I think one thing that I was really blessed by them is how hard they worked to when I wanted to be somewhere or wanted to be with a certain group of people, even if they weren't necessarily the people that would have been their first choice. They worked really hard to make sure I had opportunities to get out there and meet people, and they worked extra hard to make sure I could get to youth group, which was great, which was really great. Those are the friends who've stuck around. So they felt less like someone who's trying to control my friends and more like someone who wanted to help me make good friends.
Well, his closest friends are friends they met at Grace Point, and just growing up with them, they probably got the closest in middle school and high school, and through Epic or the youth group.
We didn't really force him. He was a teenager. You can't force him to go into certain relationships, but we wanted to make certain ones as easy as possible, and so we really tried to make it easy for him to go to Epic. We tried to, as often as we could, if not always, say yes when those friends wanted to go do something. And so eventually every Sunday was all day with them. After church they would go somewhere to eat, and they'd go back to the church and they would play games or make up games or just hang out and watch TV.
So I never really pushed back against my parents, and I think one, because I wasn't one to really push back. It's just not really in my nature. But I think the other reason is that though my parents were always open with how they felt about my friends, they loved to give me recommendations, they really believed in letting me make my own mistakes and learn from them. And so I never felt that they really clamped down, especially when I was in middle school or high school, in a way that made me want to push back.
I think helping them develop good friendships is being available too, and letting them talk. And as kids talk, they process just like we do as adults. And sometimes they're not sure, about the relationships, but once they kind of talk it through, then they sometimes realize on their own that, oh, maybe this is not the best thing I should be doing, or this is not how we act as a family, the way I'm acting now with my friends.
I don't know that I necessarily ever had to make a choice, this friend or the other, and I think the reason is that my parents really encouraged me and helped me get this deep relationship with my friends at church. And because they were the ones I could rely on, they were the ones who were influencing me the most, it kind of gave me the freedom at school to be friends with whoever I wanted. In some ways it really even helped my ministry among my friends at school, because I could hang out with anyone, and they might not necessarily be living the lifestyle that I would want for myself, but they weren't the ones influencing me either. And so it really honestly gave me a lot of freedom to have friends and to be able to live my Christ following life around them without depending on them for influencing my behavior. I think there's a couple things that really, when I look back over the last 10 years or so, that I really see fruit from my friendship. with my friends from church. And I think the first of all was my relationship with Christ, moving into college, and how that God had really blessed me through those friends, through the youth group, and through my parents, that I really entered college desiring to continue following Christ there, which is something that a lot of people can't say. You know, I was really, really blessed.